Dust rises over Babylon's golden walls. The air smells of myrrh and empire. He conquered the known world. From Greece to India, his name echoed like thunder. Alexander, son of Zeus, master of empires. And yet, the man who dreamed of immortality somehow erased his own resting place. How does the most famous figure of the ancient world simply disappear? Over 2,000 years later, archaeologists still dig through deserts and drowned cities, searching for his tomb. Every time they get close, the trail turns to dust. And maybe that was his plan all along. It began in Babylon, 323 BC. Alexander returned from years of conquest, an empire stretching from the Mediterranean to the Himalayas. But his body began to fail fever, pain, silence. As his generals gathered, the God King began to die. No one agrees how. Some say malaria, others whisper poison. Yet the strangest part, his body didn't decay. Not for 6 days. To the Greeks, this wasn't disease, it was divinity. Priests wrapped him in gold. Musicians played what would become the empire's final hymn outside. Soldiers wept, not only for their king, but for the world that would crumble without him. And when the fires dimmed, another war began, not for territory, but for his corpse. The plan was clear. Send the body home to Macedonia, build a shrine worthy of a god. But one man refused. Ptolemy, his trusted general, intercepted the funeral procession. He claimed Alexander wished to rest among the gods of the Nile. Maybe it was loyalty, maybe it was ambition. He diverted the golden sarcophagus to Egypt. In Memphis, priests enshrined it like a pharaoh's. Later, it was moved to Alexandria, the shining city Alexander had founded. A marble tomb rose at its center, the Soma. Caesar visited. Augustus, too. They gazed upon the embalmed face of the man who once ruled their ancestors. The tomb became a pilgrimage site, a place where mortals came to look upon eternity. Until one day, it was gone. By the 4th century AD, no one could find it. No maps, no ruins, just whispers. Earthquakes may have shattered it, floods may have buried it. But some believe it was hidden deliberately. As Christianity rose, pagan gods fell. Alexander, who claimed to be divine, became a threat to faith and empire alike. So perhaps his tomb was sealed, disguised, erased, a heretic king buried under holy ground. And so, the city that bore his name swallowed its founder whole. Centuries later, the search began anew. Archaeologists scoured Alexandria's tangled ruins, under markets, mosques, and crumbling catacombs. Over 140 expeditions have tried. Every time, hope glimmers, then fades. In 2019, workers unearthed a sealed black granite coffin. The world erupted. Alexander found? The lid cracked open, and a wave of stench rolled out, centuries old. Inside lay 3 skeletons in stagnant red water. Not a god, not a king, just death. The dream collapsed again, swallowed by the same earth that once worshipped him. But the hunt continued. Far west lies Siwa Oasis, a mirage of emerald in endless sand. Here, Alexander once sought proof of divinity, proclaimed son of Zeus Ammon. Some now believe his body rests there still, carried by loyal followers to the home of his god. Local tales speak of a tomb beneath the dunes, carved with serpents and suns, glowing when torches burn. Satellite scans reveal vast chambers beneath the rock, untouched by any archaeologist. If true, the desert itself guards him, and perhaps that's fitting. For a man who claimed he was divine, what better kingdom than silence, sand, and endless horizon? But another theory lingers, more dangerous than any tomb. When Christianity rose, relics of pagan kings were often reborn under new names. In Alexandria, the bones of Saint Mark, the city's patron saint, became sacred. Yet beneath his church lies a sarcophagus, far too grand for a humble apostle. Some historians whisper the unthinkable, that the tomb of Saint Mark was once the tomb of Alexander, that the divine king was re-entombed beneath a new faith, his identity erased, but his worship preserved. If that's true, millions have prayed before Alexander's bones, never knowing whose eyes once ruled the world, to be worshipped forever under another name. Perhaps that was his final victory. Empires fell, languages died, faiths rose and rewrote the world. But Alexander, the man who wanted to be eternal, achieved exactly that. His body may be lost, but his myth never aged. Every age remakes him: warrior, god, saint, ghost. Maybe the tomb was never meant to be found, because to be found is to be finished. And Alexander never finished anything. Not conquest, not ambition, not the illusion of godhood. He conquered the world, and perhaps even his own death. If the tomb of Alexander were uncovered tomorrow, what would it reveal about the man who defied mortality? And what truths would it destroy? Because some stories were never meant to end. Subscribe to Time Weave, where history's shadows still breathe.